Midway through the week, we're glad you're taking 10 minutes for CNN Student News. I'm Carl Azus. First up, surveying the damage in Taiwan. A major storm made landfall on the island's east coast Monday. Typhoon Dujuan brought wind gusts as high as 153 miles per hour and prompted the evacuation of 5,000 people from some northeastern mountain areas. They got 20 inches of rain in a short amount of time. That increased the threat of flooding and landslides. The storm killed 2 people and injured hundreds of others. It knocked out power to 500,000 before moving on to mainland China. Dujuan had weakened a bit by the time it made landfall there, but more than 260,000 Chinese were evacuated. As the international fight against the ISIS terrorist group continues, we're catching up with some people who escaped the militants. A little over a year ago, ISIS trapped almost 40,000 Yazidis on a mountain in northern Iraq. Yazidis are an ancient religious minority. ISIS wanted to kill them because their beliefs are different from the extremist Muslim views of ISIS. Thanks to a massive operation to evacuate the Yazidis and fight ISIS, thousands of lives were saved.
In the mad dash to climb on board a flight to safety, families scrambled to stay together. These desperate people spent 9 days trapped on a barren mountain under siege from ISIS militants who chased them from their homes. Amid the chaos and gunfire, terror frozen on the face of a girl in purple, 14-year-old Aziza Hamid. More than a year later, we found Aziza and her family in this refugee camp in Iraqi Kurdistan. I'm looking forward to this. We're going to meet some old friends that we encountered in very dramatic circumstances more than a year ago. And they're right up here. Dunya, how are you? Aziza and her older 18-year-old sister Dunya are here, along with their elder brother Thabit, his wife, and his 3 children. Their situation now much better than the unfinished construction site where they lived for the first 7 months after ISIS made them flee their homes. Got 'em. The girls tell me they go to school here, and they say the camp has started to feel like home. Aziza, you've gotten a little taller than Dunya since I saw you last. But it does not take long for terrible memories to resurface. What's making you sad right now? When I see you, Aziza says, I remember what happened.
We saw ISIS with our own eyes, how they were capturing people. If we drove down the wrong road that day, we would have ended up in ISIS' hands, but we took a different road and made it to the mountain.
In the years since their narrow escape, their father's health has deteriorated and he can no longer walk. No one knows what happened to 2 elder brothers who were captured by ISIS last year and haven't been heard from since. And another brother, 23-year-old Karim, smuggled himself to Europe on the migrant trail taken by so many other people fleeing the Middle East. Hey, Karim.
Hello.
Hey, how are you? Where are you?
Deutschland.
Germany.
Yeah.
I asked Karim if he misses Iraq.
No, that's gone. Iraq is gone for me. I lost it. I want to build a new future for myself. There is no future in Iraq.
That hopelessness shared by so many people we talked to in refugee camps in northern Iraq, where people like Aziza and Dunya's older brother Thabit still struggle to deal with the trauma they endured. I just want to start a new life, he says, and I want my family to stay safe and to stay together. One of the few times 15-year-old Aziza really smiles is when I ask her what she'd like to do to the men from ISIS who attacked her family. I would stomp on their heads and kill them, she says. This girl may have escaped to live another day, but her innocence has been forever lost. Ivan Watson, CNN, Dohuk, Iraqi Kurdistan.
We're roving all over North America, and today's roll call will start in Canada. The province is Alberta, the city is Calgary, the school is St. Francis High, home of the Browns. Moving south to the central U.S. state of Kansas, we've got the Indians of Andale High School watching today. Hello, Andale. And though Anchorage isn't the capital of Alaska, it is the state's largest city, and it's where the Rams are watching at Wendler Middle School.
Time for the shout out. At sea level, under normal conditions, how fast would you have to be travelling to be supersonic? If you think you know it, shout it out. Is it A, 253 miles per hour, B, 530 miles per hour, C, 612 miles per hour, or D, 762 miles per hour? You've got 3 seconds. Go. On an average day, sound waves travel at about 762 miles per hour. So option D is supersonic. That's your answer, and that's your shout out.
Of course, jets can break the speed of sound, but can a car? One did in 1997 in Nevada's Black Rock Desert. A British driver took a jet-engined vehicle to 763 miles per hour, a Guinness World Record that still stands. It was supersonic, and it's kind of slow, at least when compared to what engineers hope what this will do. It's called the Bloodhound Project. Estimated cost, $62 million, paid for by sponsors and supporters. Critics may say it's a waste of money, but the project's director says he hopes it'll inspire Britain's future engineers.
It looks like something out of the latest James Bond movie. And there's even a Q-like character. But this is reality. Say hello to the Bloodhound, billed as the world's fastest racing car, making its world debut in London.
0 to 1,000 miles an hour is 55 seconds. And then when we go through the measured mile, it's 3.6 seconds, mile in 3.6 seconds. Then we've got to think about stopping.
This is going to be driven by an RAF pilot. As you can see, it's not quite done yet, but when it is going to be supersonic. This race car is part jet and part rocket.
This is known as a hybrid rocket. It's very, very clean and 98% efficient. It's an amazing thing.
It was built by a team of Formula One and aerospace experts, with help from the British Royal Air Force and Army engineers. The goal? To smash the current world land speed record of 763 miles per hour. The outside is sleek and aerodynamic, and the insides, well, we'll let an expert tell you all about it.
You've got the most impressive jet engine, the EJ200, coupled with the next generation of space travel. Our rocket motors are being built for the European Space Agency, and then the most extraordinary aerodynamic design.
Next up for the Bloodhound, a trip to South Africa to race on a track built especially for the supersonic machine. The goal is to hit 800 miles per hour next year and 1,000 miles per hour in 2017. No doubt this race car is already on 007's wish list. Charisse Pham, CNN, London.
Before we go, a monkey on the loose. Here he is, hanging out on a mailbox. Whoops, time for a water break. All this being loose makes a monkey thirsty. Hey, street sign, I'm shaking things up. So what, where, why? Well, it happened in Florida. A pet macaque monkey named Zeke got out of his cage and monkeyed around a while until his owner came to collect him. Zeke's neighbors had seen this before, so they kept their distance, fearing a macaque attack. So how does he keep getting out? Must have the monkey. Neighbors probably wish he'd just monkkeep to his house. But if he monkkeeps on doing this, they'll have to wonder what this prime ate to make him such an escape artist. I'm Carl Azus, and that's CNN Student News.